Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this beautiful segment. As you can see, I'm already smiling. I'm so giddy because I love music, all genres of music. And my guest today is Jerry Salley, and he has established himself as a successfully prolific songwriter with nearly 600 songs recorded, selling in excess, not just downloads, but selling in excess of 18 million records worldwide. From country to bluegrass to gospel, Salley's music has transcended genres, earning him recognition and acclaim from audiences and industry peers like Billboard Magazine. He's held as one of Music Row's greatest veteran tunesmiths, and guess what? He is here. He and his guitar are here, so we're going to hear some sounds from Jerry Salley like nobody else could do it, and he has been embraced by so many artists, and we'll talk about that. But everybody, welcome to Mornings with Loretta, the Jerry Salley.
Hey, Loretta, how are you? Good to see you today. Thank you for
having me. Fantastic. I do not sing nor play an instrument, but I highly, highly adore everyone that can. And the more I know about you, Jerry, the more I'm just so grateful for this interview and this time with you. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm really been looking forward to this for a long time.
Okay, so you have a new album because you decided that you've been co-writing with people, you've had a ton of success, but there was just something inside that says, you know what, I want to do this for myself, by myself, to prove to myself that I can do it. So you created this new album called The Songwriter, and it sounds like a movie to me. So hopefully somebody will pick up the rights to this and make it a movie so I can come see it and be right there with you and your family. But so what motivated you to take on this project alone?
Well, again, when I first came to Nashville, of course, I was kind of a nerd as a kid. I loved to read the credits on the back of albums to find out who the songwriters were, who the musicians were, and that sort of stuff. And when I was growing up, there wasn't a whole lot of co-write. There wasn't a lot of records or songs that had more than one name on them. So you had your Tom T. Halls, which was a big influence on me, and people like that, Harlan Howard, a bunch of the big country writers. And but I didn't know much about co-writing, so I moved to Nashville in the early '80s. Came here right out of college. I was down here about 3 months after graduating college. And I quickly realized that this was a co-writing town. But the dilemma was you couldn't get in a room with a hit writer or learn anything from a veteran unless you could also write a song by yourself to begin with. So lucky for me, they thought I had enough talent to go ahead and put me in a room with some folks that became my mentors and some of my best friends in life. And but after all these years, I've had, like you said, nearly 600 different songs recorded in several genres. And and a few of those have been hits that I wrote by myself, but the large majority of those are co-written songs. And I guess it's just my age, and I'm just getting older. And I thought, you know what? I'm a songwriter. I'm not just a co-writer. And I thought I'm going to, so I'm going to sit down. And it took me almost 6 years now to get these songs completed. I just have a whole lot going on. I run a record label, and I produce, and I do a lot of shows and stuff, and co-write a lot still. But anyway, it took me a while to get them the way I wanted. And once I got them where I wanted them, we went in and recorded them all.
All right. So genius and perfection takes time. So I want to just talk about some of the people but first, I really want you to strum a few bars for me, because I tell you, I can look. Every time I have somebody on that can play music or sing, I feel like I'm a DJ and I want to say, hey, play this song. Coming up next, this song. All I want to do is hear you play. So can you just play a little something now, and then I'll tell everybody some of the amazing people that have gotten the opportunity to work with you?
Yeah. Why don't I do, I'll do one of the singles that's already come off of the new album, and just play you some of this one. I'll play you the whole song, how much you want. But this one's called.
Right. Well, we want to get several songs in, so don't give them everything, because I want them to go and purchase your album as well.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll give you a verse and chorus of this one. This was actually a pretty big hit in bluegrass recently, and it's called "What Kind of Fool Do You Think You're Fooling?" sorry. It was on the second verse. I'm sorry. Here we go.
You're good. We don't know.
Can you hear that okay? The silence of another lonely night without you here is so revealing. I can see you're leaving, coming in the distance now between your heart and mine. And the little things I never hear you say just adds to all the hurt I'm feeling. Girl, just because I'm holding on to letting go doesn't mean I'm blind. What kind of fool do you think you're fooling? Someone who doesn't understand you're making plans to go away. What kind of fool do you think you're fooling? The kind of fool who's fool enough to think that you might stay.
Oh, wow. Yay! And it's so interesting that you just released that, and already the bluegrass radio stations have that in rotation, and the audience are loving that song in Colorado winter. So
Yeah.
what do you think? And I just love that song. What kind of fool do you think you're fooling? I'm going to start saying that to people when they say something crazy. What kind of fool do you think you're fooling? Jerry, that was good. That was really good. So you've been across multiple genres: country, bluegrass, and gospel. How do you approach writing for each genre, and who are your favorites in those genres?
Oh, that's tough. I have a lot of favorites. And if I started naming them, I'd probably hurt somebody's feelings.
I get it. That's like asking a mom her favorite child, right?
Yeah.
So what about, because I know you work with CeCe Winans, everybody, she's really, really hot and popping now in the gospel genre,
yeah,
in person and her music. So what was that like working with her in gospel?
Well, she recorded a song of mine. She is a precious lady. She recorded a song I wrote years ago with Stephen Curtis Chapman called His Strength is Perfect. And when she recorded it, she put her own little spin on it and, of course, made it her own. And it is literally one of my favorite cuts I've ever had. What a singer. What a great spirit she has. She's one of the most kind people I've ever met. And that was a big deal. Matter of fact, you probably can't see it up here, but I've got a platinum album up here on the wall from CeCe, from where she recorded that record. Yeah. Sure
Oh my goodness. I love that. You've also, I love Brad Paisley, because I love country music. And I know it seems like it's crazy that I would love country music, but my mom was a fanatic about it. We listened to it every Sunday, every week, all day long. And Reba McEntire, who was just the host of the Country Music Awards. So what were some of the songs that you co-wrote for them?
Well, I wrote a song called Close to Crazy. It was the first song I ever had recorded by Reba, which is, you might be able to, well, she's on that side of the wall. But she recorded that on her What If It's Me album back in the late 90s. And then in around 2003, she went out, she kind of took a hiatus away from country music for a while and went to LA and worked on her comedy show. But when she came back to Nashville after several years of not recording, she recorded her first album in a lot of years. And I was very, very fortunate to get a song on there called I'm Gonna Take That Mountain, which was the very first single off of that record. And so Reba's been awful good to me over the years.
Okay, so I want you to play another song off the Songwriters.
Okay.
Because I promise you, just the titles, I could just talk about this album, and are there like 12 songs on the album? It's you did a lot of writing. Yeah, there are 12 songs. So can you perform some of another one? What do you think you're gonna do this time? Because I like What Love Looks Like, but you tell me what we're gonna do.
I can do What Love Looks Like. Yeah, give me just a second here.
Okay.
You write a record, and you got to go learn the songs after you get recorded.
I don't know how you do it. I do not. I would have to have words and music and everything to be able to do it. So you tell me whichever one that you had already said you planned, and it'll work for me because I just love it.
Yeah, let me grab the lyrics on that real quick. I would love to do that.
Yes, the title just stood out. What love looks like today.
Well,
it looks different from when my parents were first married. My dad's in heaven now, so I can only, and love looks pretty good back then.
Yes, you know, I just got to thinking about all the different things that the world today is so crazy, and it seems like there's just so much meanness, you know. And I was trying to think of some ideas that I tried to come up with a title and some scenarios when we could just little simple things we could do for each other to be kind and show kindness. And so that's kind of where the whole thing came up at. See if I can remember a little bit of this. Let's see. I should have prepared myself better. Sorry, Loretta.
No, this is a conversation. We don't prepare for live conversations. We just go with the flow.
Yeah. Well, I've got it here. Just 1 second.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little bit of. Now, this first one is a pretty cool little thing. So here we go. She smiled as she took his breakfast order, then served him his country ham and scrambled eggs. As they talked, he learned she was a single mother who quit school when baby's daddy didn't stay. He never had to ask her once to fill his coffee cup, and on a $7 breakfast, he tipped her $100. Let's show the world what love looks like today. Don't let this crazy, fast-paced living life get in the way. Check on your next door neighbor, give $1 to a stranger standing in the checkout line, searching for change. We're only here a little while, so spread some cheer and share a smile and show the world what love looks like today. Broke down outside of town on Highway 50. He was 85 and his right rear was flat. He counted over 47 cars that passed him before somebody stopped to help at last. An anxious college boy was in a hurry to get home, but stayed there till the old man finally got back on the road. Let's show the world what love looks like today. Don't let this crazy, fast-paced living life get in the way. Check on your next door neighbor, give $1 to a stranger standing in the checkout line, searching for change. Oh, we're only here a little while, so spread some cheer and share a smile and show the world what love looks like today.
Ooh, yes.
What love looks like today.
Wow, Jerry, that's a deep song because I was looking at a romantic love, but I love this love better. I love what the song is about because I remember being a child and we see somebody pulled over on the road. My dad would instantly just stop and help. It was never a second guess. And of course, times have changed because, we think everybody's going to be a mass murderer or something. We don't want to stop and help. But
That's right.
You said he counted 47 cars that passed him. Yeah. Wow. And then the college student who was on the way somewhere else was stopped to help. So your songs paint pictures. I love that. I remember that after having heard that song one time, never heard the lyrics or read them, and I was able to receive what you wrote. Thank you, Jerry, for that song.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you.
So your song, Old Songwriters Like Me, it's kind of like an autobiography. I know. I love that already. And you said Old Songwriters Like Me. What was your motivation behind that song?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I came here to write for really traditional country music, like George Jones, Merle Haggard, those kind of folks when I moved to Nashville. and Charlie Pride, and there was just a ton of people that I was huge fans of, and that's the kind of music I grew up on and wanted to write, and motivated me to move to Nashville. And but a few years ago, the music started changing a little bit in country music, and it became a little bit more pop and a little less country. And there was a phrase that went around for years here in town called "That's too country, that's too country," and it's like, how can it be too country if it's country music, you know? So anyway, as time changed, I grew up in bluegrass and country. My dad played 5-string banjo, so I was kind of doomed from the beginning. But I loved bluegrass and had some of my first songs recorded in bluegrass and gospel. So as the music changed, I kind of got a little bit more, kind of went back to my roots, you could say, you know, and started working on my bluegrass stuff and writing more of that. But anyway, I had started producing a boy from Eastern Kentucky named Alex Miller. Alex was on American Idol a few years ago, and I think he made it in the top 20 before he got kicked off, but very traditional artist, you know. And we started having success on radio. It was the first success I'd had on country radio in about, well, since the Reba stuff in 2003 or whatever. So, and then the song started making even more sense as I was working on it, because Chris Stapleton, who I've known, I was the second guy Chris ever wrote with when he came to Nashville. We've written a lot of songs together. He put one of our songs on his brand new album. So the song just started making more and more sense, because it's about an old songwriter who kind of got ignored there in his later years, but he still wanted to write and he still had a lot to say. And sooner or later, he finally got another hit on the radio. That's kind of what it's all about. But I'll play. Can I play a little bit of that one for you?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's see if we can go. Let's see here. They call me a hillbilly has-been, a music road dinosaur. They tell me the kind of songs that I write ain't the kind they want to hear anymore. Yeah, they say my heyday is over, now that the music has changed, and the new folks in charge could care less who you are. Might as well put your guitar away. So what do you do with old songwriters like me? Ones who aren't ready to let their paper and pen gather dust on the shelf. What do you do with old songwriters like me? Old songwriters who still have a story to tell. So, and then I'll go on to the third verse, and I'll skip the second verse there for you. So the third verse says, well, just when my phone had gone silent, I got a call right out of the blue from a young man up in Kentucky who said, man, I sure love what you do. So we started writing together. Next thing, that boy's a big country star. Now they all ring my phone, but hey, nobody's home. 'Cause guess whose name they see back up on top of the charts? Oh, what do you do with old songwriters like me? Ones who aren't ready to let their paper and pen gather dust on the shelf. What do you do with old songwriters like me? Old songwriters who still have a story to tell. Don't be so quick to judge, 'cause if you're lucky enough, someday you just might be one yourself. An old songwriter who still has a story to tell.
Woo! Yes, yes. I can relate to that song. All of us can, because we may not be songwriters. Maybe we are TV talk show hosts. Maybe we are a photographer. So we still have another story to tell. I love that. I absolutely love that song. Oh, I can't wait to hear it on the radio. Oh, we've already, oh my goodness. Our time. Where does time go when you're having fun? So your career spans over 40 years. What changes have you observed? You kind of led to that already, the change in the industry when it came to country music being more pop and hip hop than country. So how has that, so you decided to pivot as most genius people do, and look where it's gotten you. So what do you hope we take away from this album?
Well, I just want to, I'm trying to let people know that I'm not done with this. And I'll probably, to be honest with you, Loretta, I'll probably write songs till I can't hold a pen anymore, or I don't have a thought in my head anymore. It's just, I feel like God blessed me with the talent, and I've tried to use it to glorify Him and to write songs that everybody can listen to, that that wouldn't be embarrassed for my grandkids to hear, that sort of stuff, you know. So anyway, I'm just not through with this yet, and I kind of just wanted folks to know that I'm still out here doing it.
Absolutely. And you know what? We're so happy that you are still out there. Your story is one of inspiration and motivation to everybody, regardless of how old you are. Don't stop. Age is just a number. You really are as young as you feel. And you are a prime example of staying ready so you don't have to get ready, and keep pivoting and reinventing yourself. Nobody gets to tell you when to let that curtain close but God. And so I expect you to keep writing for another 40 years, Jerry Salley.
Well, thanks, Loretta. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you inviting me in today and getting to visit with you. And I hope we get to do it again sometime soon.
We will. And I'm in Nashville a lot. So the next time you're performing, let me know. I don't mind making that drive for some good music and good friends.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Jerry. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.
God bless y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So I'm so excited that we got to do that interview. And again, like I said, it's never too late. You're never too old. You've never written enough songs. You've never taken too many photographs. You've never hosted too many talk shows. You never cooked too many meals until you can no longer do it physically, mentally, or spiritually. That's when you stop. And not until then. Don't you dare stop before then. And in closing, think positive, dream big dreams, help someone along the way. And guess what, everybody? I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.